I never expected the silence of this house to. The following days felt like walking through a dream. Every morning, I'd wake before the sun rose, the mansion eerily quiet, except for the ticking of a grandfather clock in the hall. I'd check on Lily, who always sat by her window, staring out at the gardens with her small hands folded neatly in her lap. She never once greeted me. Not a wave, not a nod, not even a smile. But she also never looked away when I entered the room. There was something in her eyes, like she was waiting for something. I tried everything. At breakfast, I'd pour her juice and say, "Good morning, Lily." She wouldn't reply, but I noticed that she always took the glass I handed her. When we walked through the gardens, I'd point to the flowers. "Aren't these roses beautiful?" She'd glance at them, then glance at me, as though she understood but chose silence over words. In the evenings, I'd sit with her in the playroom, surrounded by dolls and stuffed animals that looked untouched. I'd pick one up and make it talk. "Hello, Lily," I'd make the bear say in a silly voice. "Would you like to play?" Her lips would twitch, just slightly, but she never answered. Mr. Williams, on the other hand, remained distant. He worked late most nights, retreating into his office with the heavy oak doors shut tight. Sometimes I'd hear his voice on phone calls, speaking in firm, commanding tones about stocks, deals, investments. Money seemed to be his language, not love. But once, just once, I caught a glimpse of something different. It was past midnight, and I had gone downstairs to fetch a glass of water. The hall was dimly lit, shadows stretching across the marble floors. As I passed by his office, I heard a faint sound. Not the clipped voice of a businessman, but something softer. I peeked inside. Mr. Williams was sitting at his desk, head bowed, a photograph in his hand. His shoulders sagged, his eyes red. He wasn't the unshakable millionaire then. He was just a broken man holding on to a memory. I realized then that Lily's silence wasn't just hers. It belonged to the whole house. One rainy afternoon, everything began to change. I was in the kitchen, humming softly to myself as I washed dishes. The rain tapped gently against the windows, a steady rhythm. Without even thinking, I started to sing. A song my grandmother used to sing to me when I was little. My voice was soft, hesitant at first, but then fuller as the melody filled the kitchen. And that's when I heard it. A sound behind me. I turned, startled, and there was Lily standing in the doorway, her eyes wide. She hadn't made a sound, but she was watching me intently. "You like that song, don't you?" I asked gently, drying my hands. She didn't nod, she didn't smile, but she stepped closer. I knelt down, heart racing. "Do you want me to sing it again?" Her eyes flickered with something I hadn't seen before. Hope. So I sang. This time, I kept my eyes on her, and to my astonishment, she opened her mouth. No words came out, not yet, but she hummed softly, shakily along with me. My heart nearly burst. It was the first sound she'd made in my presence. From that moment, I knew the key wasn't toys or games. It wasn't coaxing or begging. It was music. Every evening after that, I sang to her. Lullabies, gospel songs, old folk tunes. Sometimes she hummed along, other times she just listened, her small body swaying gently to the rhythm. The mansion, once so silent, began to fill with sound. Not loud, not boisterous, but gentle, healing sound. One night, as I tucked her into bed, I whispered, "You have a beautiful voice, Lily. Don't ever be afraid to use it." She looked at me for a long moment. Then just before closing her eyes, she did something I never expected. She reached out, her tiny hand curling around mine. It wasn't a word, but it was everything. The real breakthrough, though, came weeks later. It was another stormy night, thunder rumbling in the distance. The mansion felt heavier than usual, the walls almost groaning with the weight of the weather. I sat in Lily's room, humming a soft tune to keep her calm. Suddenly, lightning flashed, followed by a crack of thunder that shook the windows. Lily gasped and buried her face in my shoulder, trembling. "Shh, it's all right," I soothed, rubbing her back. "You're safe. I'm here." And then it happened. Her small, trembling voice whispered one word. "Grace." My breath caught. My eyes filled with tears. She had spoken. My name.